Madman. You're a madman.
Air and water. Well, you'll find plenty of both down there.
No man, Persian or Greek, no man threatens a messenger.
You bring the crowns and heads of conquered kings to my city steps. You insult my queen. You threaten my people with slavery and death. Oh, I've chosen my words carefully, Persian. Perhaps you should have done the same.
This is blasphemy. This is madness.
This is Sparta!
Hello guys, and welcome to another project. And this project will be working on the famous scene from the movie 300 where King Leonidas kicks this guy into the hole. Now this was a different project. It was also a new project that almost set the standard for how long or what's the longest video that I've done so far. So this project in total took about 12 hours or even 16 if I'm not mistaken, and just alone doing these characters for Leonidas was about 3 hours if I'm not mistaken. So it was a fun project. I really enjoyed it. It was okay. The only frustrating, if I'm being very honest, is that my recording software kept on crashing. So there were so many times where I had to start again from scratch because I didn't capture anything. Oh goodness, that was frustrating, but I figured out the problems and eventually I was able to record. But yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to see the parts where it almost glitches, but I think I've done a decent job to hide it. So with King Leonidas here, we did about 4 views of him. Again, this is one of the first few characters where I've done more than 2. Before it was about 2 is the most I've ever done on a character, and I think that was Ash. So with King Leonidas here, I did 3 views of him just to almost emulate the scene. Now what usually I do is that I trace and animate just the character and then almost create my own scene. But here, I almost got into the habit of trying to do the whole scene here, which it wasn't my purpose if I'm being honest, or my goal rather. But in the end, I'm happy with how it turned out. And you can see from the beginning footage that played that we play around with some color grading, we play around with some noise gain. So if you did see noise, no, that's not your internet connection, that's just me playing with the noise. So if this is the first video that you ever watching of mine, my videos come in 3 parts. The first part is that we create the main character, we trace and animate the main character. The second video is that we trace and animate the secondary character or background characters, and then in the last video we put everything together as an animation. So we animate from beginning to scratch to compositing in After Effects until we've got the final project. So I hope you'll stay tuned to watch all the videos. They come out, I think each one has a day, each one I'm struggling to put it into words. Well, I upload one, skip a day, and then I upload the other one. So all videos are uploaded within a week. So I hope you guys will stay tuned and check out these videos. So this first view of Leonidas here that I created was him holding the sword. Now the reason that I started with this scene is because this is it's the scene that he talks the most, or the cut shot where he's got a lot more dialogue. So I wanted to work with that one. And it is also my base character because whatever colors that I generate from this view here, I will use them to create the next character. So you can see here I'm working on his eyes, and there wasn't I don't think anything unique about this project. I think it in terms of animating, there wasn't anything new that I did that I hadn't done in the other ones. I did create some motion here that didn't require the bone structure. So here I'm adding his lips. You can see how weird he looks like without his beard. But yeah, so right now the reason that I imported these lips is because we're gonna want him to lip sync every time he talks. So you can see right now I'm just drawing in his beard with the pencil tool, And if you're curious to what program that I use for animating, I use I use a program called, wow, I'm gonna start that again. So I use a program called Anime Studio. Well, it's now called Moho Studio if you've got the latest one. I feel like I'm talking a bit too fast in this project. You guys can let me know in the comments if I'm speaking too fast or too slow or gibberish. So right now I'm just coloring him in. With what I liked about Leonidas was that, or this project in total, is that I didn't struggle too much with picking the colors. The previous project that I've done with Katniss Everdeen, I struggled a lot finding the right colors, but with this one it wasn't too hard. So if you enjoy what you're watching or you're looking forward to seeing all the other projects, then please consider subscribing and leaving a like and, you know, putting comments, you know, all those nice things that help the channel grow. I'm really enjoying it. I'm proud to say that there's been consistency for the past month now. So every week there's been a new project, so I'm really happy with that. So I hope you guys can subscribe and check out those other videos that I've done, and you'll also subscribe to check out the future videos that I have going on. Alright, so now you can see he's coming together. He's starting to come alive. And so here what I started doing was just exaggerating his features, especially the highlights of the shadows and the lighter shades of his skin color. I just started exaggerating some of those just to give him that more rigid, rough look, you know. I mean, they're Spartans after all. And the funny thing is that you'll notice that when we get to the part of animating the queen, she's got more soft features, and it's something that I don't know, but I think just doing this project you kinda appreciate like the things that go into the makeup department, how like King Leonidas looks very staunched, but if you look at the queen, she's got these very nice soft features, and there's just that contrast there. But you'll also see that in the project here that I'll do. You'll see when we get to the queen that it's much simpler. And spoiler alert, the queen is in the next video. Alright, so you can see how long the first character takes, because this is the base character and every character after this has to be modeled after the initial character. So it is very important whenever you're animating multiple characters to get the first one right, because if you do make mistakes on him, then when you fixing like your, I don't know, your 8th character view, and you've done 8 characters already and you made a mistake on him, then you'd have to go back all the way and fix each one. So it's always best to do the first one right, and then the others will come right, I believe. So now I'm adding my flair to it, just making some lines thinner. Here I made the sword have a gradient color just so it would look better instead of looking like a flat gray. But then you'll notice that on the Persian views guy it looks a bit gray, so it wasn't too much of a problem, but I was okay with that. So you can see Leonidas is finally coming to life, just adding those little details. Now I've noticed that I think the last 3 projects that I've done, including this one, they've been almost every shot has been a close-up of the characters. So I'm trying to do maybe other projects where we can get to see the full body of the character instead of just the close-up parts. But otherwise, I'm not complaining too much. I just want, I suppose I would like versatility. Is that a word? I'd love versatility. I just want the projects to be versatile. And there you can see, so you can see he looks rough. There I was just playing around with the hair. So this is the part you always want to experiment again with your first character. But much of the experimenting that I did here I wasn't too happy with, and I reverted to just what the stuff that I had done. So you can see now I've got King Leonidas, he's looking good, he's the first one, and I was encouraged to continue, because sometimes I do get discouraged in these projects. So here you can see now I was just trying again more features, and what I noticed while doing this is that the in terms of his skin color, you've got these extreme parts where it's very dark, and then the other parts are just normal. So especially around the eyeshadows, it's very dark there. There's like this darkness, and then the other parts are just regular colors. So we've come to the 10-minute mark. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Thank you so much for getting this far. I truly appreciate it. And yeah, the number for this project is 85. So just comment 85 in the comments, and I'll know you got this far. And I know you're a real one for getting here. So I truly do appreciate it. And if you know, the people that don't comment, you know, sometimes I watch videos without commenting, and if you don't, thank you still so much for getting this far. I truly do appreciate you. I know these are very long videos, but it truly means a lot for you. Truly means a lot if you've gotten this far. So thank you so much, and please consider subscribing if you haven't. Okay, going back to the project. So now we're working on the next view of King Leonidas. This is so this is the last scene of him. This is where he's like, you know, this is Sparta. I just butchered that. Where he's like, this is Sparta. Much better, but not as good as King Leonidas. Alright, so here we're just creating more of the cape. And again, I think I'm trying to think back if I had any problems, you know, other than the recording of these videos. I don't think there were any. I didn't struggle with any features of him. I didn't think that he had too many details. He was a pretty much controlled character in terms of animating, so I didn't struggle with anything. But yeah, so here, so what happened with the recording software is that I actually did mess it up at some point where it was unable to record, and I had to find a way to fix it. So it's one of those things where you leave your computer on until you get access to the internet again, and then you fix your internet connection. And then after that, I was able to re-download the software, and it worked out perfectly. But I think I'll talk about more on that in the last video, which we're putting everything together, because that's where a lot of the problems I experienced came through. So now you can see just adding the badge, nothing too complicated. And yeah, so 300, I'll definitely say it's one of my favorite movies, like, of all time. It's the only movie that I remember going to the cinemas 3 times. I went to watch it at the cinemas 3 times. That's just how much I enjoyed it. It was really, I don't know, there was something about it. And I think at the time I was really into like Greek mythology and just everything about Greece and Athens and Sparta. It was exciting times. I even got the books, like historical books about Spartans and all that stuff. That's just how much I was into it. So you can see again with the eyes, you'll see the extreme parts of it where it's very dark. So here what I'm doing is I'm just adding the beard. So what I eventually did was I still deleted the beard on this character and then just reworked it again. And then you can see I deleted because it just wasn't working out the way I had hoped it would work. So some portions of it I just had to remove it to make it work. So this was me just deleting those parts. So yeah, so I mean, if you guys have a favorite movie that you really like or enjoyed, I'd love to hear it in the comments area. So yeah, let me know what your favorite movie is, and then maybe I can even trace it, unless you're like, no, don't ruin my movie, don't ruin my movie, and then I won't ruin anything. So here with King Leonidas, you can see right now, so I'm just copying the colors from one to the other, and that's the part where I was talking about where you need to make sure that the first character you do, you're happy with the colors, the color choices that you've chosen. It makes it much easier. So you can see here I'm just adding the colors, nothing too complicated, adding the eyes, just copying from one image to the other. You can see it's moving a bit too fast, but I hope you can make sense of what's happening. So here you can see now just adding I don't know if you could call that, it's not a badge, it's like a pin, I think. All right, so there you can see he's coming together, finally putting some stuff to him. You can see he's looking good. So again, I'm just replicating the features that I'd put on the initial character and just making sure they need to look the same, even though it's different positions. You don't want to look at one position and be like, wait, these characters don't look the same. So I think overall I was happy that they did look similar between the different characters. And then you can see here, just adding a few little touches, line thicknesses, adding the flare, and then you can see there. So there I'm just finishing it off. And then right now I'm thinking of something to say. I've been thinking like, should I, you know, I don't want to make the videos too structured, but I also don't want them to be filled with gaps when I'm recording. But I do feel like it's a learning process. So as I'm learning, it's like every video is actual practice with these animations. So hopefully by the time I've made my my 30th project, I'll be like a pro. Like when I speak, you'll be like, man, this guy should I don't know, should do go to Audible. That's the website. Go to Audible and record books. All right. So here we come into the close of King Leonidas, and then what we're gonna do, the video is not ending just in case you click out, we still have one more view of King Leonidas that we need to do, and then and then that's when the video is gonna end. I've noticed that usually when you tell well, I saw this from, I think, Nick Nimmin, one of the like YouTube mentors and stuff that teach you how to be a better YouTuber. He was talking about, you know, if you tell people, okay guys, we're coming to the end, people generally click off because there's nothing left to do. They think the video is over, but it's not. So this is the last character we're working on, Leonidas. This is the view where he's got motion. So what I did was I just referenced two views, his initial position and the position where he moved at, and then I just moved almost the character into that position. And then in between those frames, there's movement. That's where the movement comes in. So this is the character animation of Leonidas, where he moves. So I was mistaken in terms of how many characters Leonidas has. So he's got 3. So he's almost the same. It matches the one that we did for Pokemon, for Ash Ketchum. Ash Ketchum also had 3 views. So I was mistaken. I thought it was 4. But you can see now I'm drawing his cape there. And then just putting some stuff there, those little shades, and yeah, and I'm really happy with the way this project turned out overall, especially I think just with the compositing. I think that was the one thing that I was like, wow, this actually looks great to me in any case. And that's why I'm just hoping that if you're watching this video, the whole entirety of it, that you'll also just watch me animating everything together. I really think it's one of the best projects that I've done so far. So there, we've done it. So here, just creating those final pieces together and adding them. So I think I talked about this in the last video, but I've got projects that I've done that if you guys are ever interested in seeing, just let me know and I'll upload those. I think those are exciting as well. The like seeing a project, like the potential of what you can do. It's really awesome. But yeah, I hope one day. I was just thinking. It's a bit embarrassing, but I'm just gonna tell you anyway. Like if one day Zack Snyder could see this, Zack Snyder is the director of 300. He's also the director of Batman vs Superman and the Justice League movie. So I hope one day he watches this. Oh man, because I'm fanning out. Control, Oosa. Okay, I think I'm back now. All right, so I hope Zack Snyder one day catches this. I think that'll be like a dream come true. But in any case, if it doesn't, thank you for watching. So here I'm just finishing off his beard, and then once we put the colors to him and everything, we're gonna create the motion for him to start moving around. So here you can see I'm back at it. I'm just using the other character to reference his colors. We're just gonna put those together, and we're just gonna do, I forgot what I was saying, but yeah, it's just the colors. Oh, I was gonna say that if you guys, the software, you don't just, if you want to, you don't always have to use it for animation. Like in the past, I've used it to create comic books. I know you're wondering how, but I use it like for base design of the characters, and then I'll just put them in a frame. It wasn't like complicated manga, it was just simple comics. So if you're not into animating, then you can always use this program for creating creating comic books. It works really great. So here you can see it's just the final touches, and then I'm excited to show you guys how I create the movement. So in terms of how I created the movement, instead of animating, I created it as a cycle, because I thought that would be much easier and it would be less complicated, and I can always control it much better. So here, as you can see, I'm just adding my flair, and then we're gonna get to the key movements. Then what I am gonna do right now is apologize in advance because I didn't do a pre-render for these characters. They do this video when it ends, it will end abruptly, but I'll give you a warning. It's not like I'm just gonna keep talking and then just oops, cut. I'll give you a warning. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just adding those final features, and then and then we'll get to it. We'll get to the creating the motion of King Leonidas that was used in the final animation. So there we've got the beard, we've got the, so there it was just me copying and pasting, deleting the previous beard and just adding this one that matches with the current angle of his character. So now this is the first part. So you can see what I did was I referenced a picture of Leonidas, and then I just made, this was the last frame. So instead of working forward, I kind of went alternate on this one and worked backwards. So you'll see that now I'm referencing the second picture of Leonidas. So it does look like it's the same picture, but this isn't. His position has moved. So you can see here I'm moving the eyes, I'm moving the head and everything just to be in the position that I want it to be. And then I'll also move the beard as well. So you can see now there's almost some little motion. You can see he's moving now. So I've created his intermediate phase. So now I'm just gonna create his initial position, which is frame 1. So you can see now I'm just aligning my lines to meet his current view, and then that's what created the motion. Now I could have done this without referencing, but I guess I just wanted to be as accurate as I can, and I think I do produce much better results when I do trace it. And again, that is the name of the channel. It's Trace and Animate, not Original and Animate. Okay, I shouldn't talk like that. Okay, so here you can see I'm just adjusting his beard, and you can see there's that movement. It's a bit too fast to see what's happening, but I'm just adjusting. But I think you can make, when you watch the opening video that plays at the beginning, you can see how the movement was. I did have to stretch it a bit just because of how long the general scene was, but other than that, I think it worked out all right. So here, just adding it, moving. Okay, moving the cape was also a very difficult part. It was a bit frustrating, but I got the job done. So it was just moving that, and then I manually had to move those points individually, and that wasn't too bad. It was annoying, but not too bad. I don't know if that makes sense. So guys, thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing. We're coming to the end of this project, so yes, so you can, no, don't click off. So we're coming to the end of this project. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys will stick around to watch the full project, including the next video after this one and the final where we put it together. I think this was an exciting project, and yeah, I look forward to showing you guys the other projects. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.